Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Yeah, it's saying it's working, but it doesn't seem to actually be working. It doesn't. Can you speak?
Yeah. Hello.
Is it picking up, but it's not feeding it through?
Yeah.
Is there a master this time?
All right. Keep talk now.
Hey guys. Welcome to the Anja and Joe.
This sucks.
No?
All right. Keep speaking constantly.
So these strawberries are really nice.
Strawberries are good. Yeah. Strawberries good. Microphones
Not so good.
not playable.
We do not like the microphone. It's not like
No, it's the actual sound mixer that's being funny. People
Microphones are picking up.
Yeah.
me.
All right. Let's have a look at. Oh my god. It's on. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Dean Callan Show. We're live. I think we've been live for a little while by accident. I don't know. And if anyone is watching, because I couldn't monitor the audio, just let me know if the audio is okay. Because yesterday everyone was like, audio is great, and then I watched it back and it was like mind-meltingly over loud and popping. So I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna check it at some point on my iPad. But if you're listening to this and you're getting terrible audio, just let me know now in the comments. Okay? Right. Got a great show today. We got the legends from Tropic Topic, Anja Rubin, or is it? Wait, let me bring them in. I just panicked because I thought I pronounced your name wrong.
Don't panic.
So because it's Ruban, right?
No, it's Rubin. You said it
right. Oh, Rubin.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I keep thinking Ruban from I don't know. Is it something about Mary or something? This show where the dude scuba instructor is like, you are not for scuba, Ruban?
Yeah.
You know that? The guy on the beach.
It's the guy that just dropped the Apple voice, isn't it? What's the Hank Azaria? Isn't that the guy?
Yeah, exactly.
The voice actor.
Yeah. But he's amazing, and that Ruban never leaves my head. I'm like, you are not for scuba, Ruban? I just love that so much. Anyway, Anja Rubin and Joe Farr. This is Farr.
Nailed it.
Yeah, see? It's nice and easy. Yeah.
Easy.
So how have you guys been? What have you been up to?
Oh man, so much. I mean, obviously it's been a quite a special year for everyone, I guess. And yeah, we just tried to basically keep busy. and do things.
Yeah, just keep working.
Yeah,
just keep working.
Just keeping
Yes.
one ear to the ground of the hospitality industry whilst being nestled away in Suffolk, well out of the way of anything hospitality.
Yeah, exactly.
It's-
It's basically keeping your foot into an industry that's being like almost like shut down or silenced.
Yeah, exactly that. It's kind of like trying to keep your foot in the door whilst the government's the other side trying to slam it shut.
Yeah. Oh, you're good at analogies.
I do that.
That's really good.
He is.
Okay, so fine on YouTube. It's slightly top and loud, but okay. Turn the gain down very slightly. Okay,
Sound engineers in
we're
the chat.
We're getting sound,
Hey.
but like turn the gain down very slightly is interesting because it's quite low down. Is it me? Oh,
is
man.
it me?
It's getting this is getting increasingly difficult every single time. I think my little sound cardy jobby has just decided to like be mean to me. But I've got my mic set on -21, but I'll just talk real quiet and we'll just get more comments coming through. We'll do Mitch's minute and then I'll review it. You're a bit louder and slightly metallic. Wow.
I like
Slightly metallic, they said. It's a metallic sound. God, what am I doing here? Why is it not letting both of them work? There we go. Alright, let me know, guys, how that is working. Don't shout so much. So let me try to turn mine down a bit. Oh, I'm the worst at this. Why? Like, I had this perfect last night. Alright, I'm leaving it. Let's make a drink. Do you want a drink?
Let's have a drink. Yeah.
Okay, let's start with a drink.
Always ready for it.
Right, so you spent the last year trying to keep your toes in an industry that, as the door's getting slammed shut on your
I think we probably
toes.
need to go a little bit backwards in terms of like, we basically moved countries in a global pandemic.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember.
this is where it all started off. Because we were kind of like too far in to like basically be like, oh, we just like put the brakes down and like stay in Switzerland. So we didn't have that option. So yeah, like that was it. Like,
Are you from Switzerland?
Yeah, I'm Swiss.
Okay, that makes so much more sense.
Does it?
Yeah, Switzerland's amazing. Why did you ever leave Switzerland? Is it because it's expensive?
No, because like obviously it's pretty leveled out there because you kind of like your wage is a bit higher.
Yeah, it's like
But we
expensive for
also
people
do-
touristing there,
But we
I
do
see.
pay more on like food and like just the daily stuff you need. But yeah, like I mean I love Switzerland and Switzerland always be my home. But obviously my better half is English. And when I came
Is it
over,
better half?
Yeah, she said that. That's a
Wow!
mistake, though.
What's
you're telling me that now.
Yeah. I think for us, we want to be in and around rum-centered bars and tiki and that kind of scene, and that is not a big player in the Swiss bar scene at all.
You wouldn't try to bring it there, or is that just going to be
The
extortionate?
thing is that the followers of tiki are very enthusiastically and passionately following it already, and have done for a long time, and like trying to bring a whole nation, as it were, into a new culture of bar and new culture of drinking by ourselves, or at least with like a handful of other talented bartenders. It was going to be like a lifelong mission to get off the ground. And also fresh fruit is more expensive, which means citrus juice is going to cost us a ton. At the base end of building cocktails, which include a lot of pineapple or passion fruit or things like that.
Yeah, I think I paid something like the equivalent of €14 in the Swiss frankie. Is it francs?
Yeah.
Swiss money.
Yeah.
Monopoly money. Like, when I say monopoly money,
when
I was in Zurich, I was kind of thinking like, this is where the monopoly man lives. This is where he lives. He owns properties everywhere else, but this is where he hangs out.
Zurich's the clean financial district of London. The whole city
it's
like that.
epic.
Crazy.
But it was something like €14 for a pineapple.
Yeah.
That was ahead of my like pineapple seminar I did at Tails. So
that was it.
I expensed it. I expensed that pineapple, and it also led me to be like in Tokyo. I was like, I'm gonna go buy a pineapple. want to see how expensive pineapples can get in Tokyo. And they had super expensive melons in Tokyo, but not where I went. There weren't super expensive pineapples, unfortunately. I wanted to like get some sort of 300 euro pineapple.
Quality between.
Yeah, this one has been flown in direct from Brazil. You know, the Tupi-Guarani tribe themselves grew it in their traditional way. So Switzerland was just not going to be, live your life, have fun.
At the beginning already, we kind of decided to go over there because obviously Joe has never really left England before, and I know
that one.
Us being together kind of made sense, just to show him my place and show him around.
Well, he's going to understand you a lot more. I guess you'd understand each other as a couple a lot more.
Yeah, I think.
If
I think
he's lived in your home.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. Anja had been here for 7 years, and we decided to move back. Well, Anja decided to move back, and I decided to move back. 7 years is a long.
How did that conversation go? I'm leaving. I'm going home. Please take me.
Get in the bag.
Don't you want me to come with you?
No, it was a lot more amicable than I'm making it seem.
Yeah.
It was just the kind of.
No, it was a very mutual decision, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We're like, let's just check it out and see, how things are over there.
Honestly, did you went to the old crow bar in Missouri? I would live. If I had tons of money, I'd live in that bar.
I know.
I'd be like,
amazing.
I'll have this one, and then I'll have one of those ones.
The whiskey shop is insane.
It is
insane. For those who haven't been, it's like the perimeter of this cabin, but round and round and round, but along one long shelf that just sort of morphs around the wall, the back wall behind the bar. It's an insane bar. Beautiful.
Now, I don't know why, but for some reason, I've lost my monitor, so I'm just going to unplug it and plug it back in again. Hey! Don't you love the IT crowd?
Classic thing.
Hello, IT? Have you tried turning it off and on again? I love that so much. Do you know what's really funny? I've seen the IT crowd. I'm getting distracted. I've got a very short attention span. I watched I looked at the name, the IT crowd, for ages before I actually watched it, and I was like, the IT crowd, and I thought it was going to be like Beverly Hills 90210.
Yeah, I
but
did the same thing.
in the UK, I didn't realize it was the IT crowd.
Yeah.
And then I watched the first episode, and I was like, what have I been wasting my life? How did I not watch this earlier? And then, I love that show.
Yeah, it is a pretty good show. I've actually got introduced to it, I think, second year I was living in the UK. One of my friends just showed it to me. I was like, what is it? What? I really loved it.
Well, TV kind of made me move to London.
Oh,
right?
did it?
Yeah, because I watched Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, and I was like, I want to live in London.
This is the reason.
Fucking Northern
Stop getting shot! Everyone stop getting shot!
It was so good, right? And then Snatch as well. Oh man, the Desert Eagle .50, and the fact that yours say replica on the side should precipitate your balls into shrinking along with your presence. Epic.
And there we go. Off topic.
Straight back on.
So things like Lock, Stock and Snatch and The Office. I was like, I loved British humour. I already loved Monty Python.
Yeah.
I was a massive fan of them. So that was one of the things I thought all British people were funny and interesting or intelligent or evil, right?
I quickly did that.
I don't know, but that's what inspired me. So Anja, what inspired you to come over?
Oh, it's actually, I don't know. Let me have a sip first. So my first initial thing was pretty much I just finished my photography degree and everything.
You did a degree in photography?
Yeah, I did.
Wow, you should teach me about cameras and stuff. You sat quietly while I was trying to get everything set up. Speaking of which, now I've got my monitor back. I've seen this ugly cloth on the back.
No, I mean this was pretty much because afterwards I was 19, on the verge of 20, and I couldn't speak any word English, and that was kind of my first thing. I did wanted to learn, the English language. And
how did you learn it all in 2 years?
Well, just came over and talk. The thing is as well, I don't know, the personality I am, I obviously didn't hang out with other Swiss people in the UK or anything. Like I literally hanged myself to actual English people, and it was really funny because I like this is something I will never forget. Because a lot of people that met me the first time ever, basically like, oh, she's really shy. It's like, well, you clearly don't know me because like it's literally just a language barrier. Because like I'm listening, I'm constantly listening to you, but I'm not like that fit enough to like being in conversation and everything. So yeah, I mean, obviously later on they realised quite quickly that I'm definitely not a shy person.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
I am just.
This is delicious.
I'm just looking to bring up. So we've got a couple of comments here. Love you guys. Love from the drinks coach, which is Joe. Yeah. He's actually commented loads. Basically a lot of audio stuff. Don't shout so much. Now that's much better. Switzerland is boring and expensive. Good chocolate and sausages though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So lots of interesting comments coming through there.
They comment on the sausages though. Like we're really bloody good in our bacon. Like our bacon is cured. We don't need to cook it.
How?
I love Swiss bacon.
I don't remember trying Swiss bacon.
What? I need to bring
It's cured, you don't have to cook it. Is that still bacon though? Is that not Parmigiano?
No. It's like proper Swiss bacon.
I don't eat meat, so I'm the worst person to add a third perspective to this. But it looks
I was going to say, like, do you eat the bacon?
That's another really funny subject because if we go anywhere, like if it's to bars, to other friends, whatever, they always mix us up because they always assume I'm the vegetarian. I'm like, no.
I got into a really nice conversation with James Hopkins, right? Him and Wendy did a huge study on their blood types, and apparently I think Wendy's blood type is the same as mine, and she is like meant to eat, or could be she's meant to eat vegetables, and they're better for her system, based on blood type. It seems pretty legit, right?
Yeah.
But Electra and James, so we're two couples with the exact blood type match. Electra and James both have a blood type that's better suited to eating meat. So, and honestly, I eat like a bit of. I love meat, but I'll eat a bit of meat and I'll be like full, and I'll want to go to sleep. But vegetables, I can eat as much vegetables as I want, and I always feel good. And I wake up, I feel more empowered with vegetables. But I just don't eat many vegetables.
Yeah.
It's like
kind of like the lactose intolerant eating a litre of ice cream just because YOLO.
You love it.
It's great.
But
that's the excuse given, right?
I think the thing
great. Why wouldn't
I eat a lot of chicken though, and I feel really guilty. I want to move on to rabbit because apparently rabbits are more sustainable.
I actually wouldn't know.
I don't think any of it's good.
No.
Yeah. We're talking about meat.
I know.
Right, So
let's move away from that.
This drink, let me explain it.
Yes, please. It's delicious.
Can I guess? Because this is a game that Sophie Dowles and I play all the time, which is to order any classic, any random obscure classic that you haven't made in a while. See if the other person can guess what it is.
Okay.
So I think it's a rum Toronto.
It's basically a rum Toronto, but the perfect explanation of this. So Toronto doesn't have vermouth in it, right?
Yeah.
No.
It's Toronto with vermouth. So get this, right? I was chatting to Mitch, and Mitch is, he's drunk one night, right? And I'm like, Mitch, what you drinking, man? And, we're having a video conferencey type thing. And he's like, it's like it's like a rum Toronto, And I was like, rum Toronto? I was like, sounds delicious. I'm like, wait, what is that exactly? And because I was like, I didn't know the Toronto, right? Out of the game for a while. I was like, I can't remember what's in the Toronto. And he says, it's a Manhattan, but you take the vermouth, you take the bitters out and replace it with Fernet Branca. So instead of a couple of dashes of Angostura bitters, you're putting more Fernet Branca. And I was like, which is easy. For anyone classically trained, you just know, right, well, bitters is non-potable. Fernet Branca, instead of 2 mils of bitters, you're putting 5 or 7 mils of Fernet Branca, right? Bang. And he's like, you add a bit of sugar in it. And I'm like, okay. So I made one, which is that. And it was delicious. I loved it.
It's really good.
But that's not a Toronto. This is halfway between a Toronto and a Manhattan.
Yeah.
So I called it an Ottawa.
Ottawa, yeah.
Right?
The Canadian cities out there.
Well, like, name another Canadian city. Like, kind of a capital. So it's a capital city. It's not like, because Toronto obviously would be the perfect equivalent of Manhattan, and it's already a Vancouver cocktail.
Yeah.
So it's like, right, let's go down the line of recognizable Canadian cities until we find one where I Google the cocktail name and it doesn't exist. At this point, everyone's done everything. So I'm like, there's probably 60 of these exact drinks, but like I Googled the spec, didn't exist. So technically, you're correct. But you're also wrong.
Normally, it's normally not that move, and it's like it's
That's why I
closer to
always
an
say too.
old fashioned with
Exactly.
Fernet replacing a bit.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's back.
I like it.
So as you might be able to tell from the shirt, I'm going to start on a mission to like bring classics back, and when I say that, I don't mean I want everyone to like make classics all the time and that's all they do.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like because everyone's pre-batched everything, there's no space for like flexibility of like, can I get a Ramos? Obviously that's a douchey thing because it's quite a you need cream and you need egg white, you need orange blossom water and all that sort of stuff. And it's a difficult drink to get right. but
and a lot of like shaking.
But if you like, I remember a time when, and you'd know you're great at classics, but you're also super creative, right? I remember a time when like arguing over whether or not you use 5ml or like 10ml of simple syrup in a Sazerac was like a big thing. Like, at what level of sweetness is it meant to be like an old fashioned? It's like perfectly rounded, or is it meant to be drier, more astringent, and you use like a drier spirit, more like punchy spirit, so that it's like sucks the sweetness out of your mouth, and like now it's like Sazeracs have apple juice in them, and
all sorts of
it's
things.
just like but the name used to be sacred. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's like we need to kind of cook. If people make the drink enough, if they just make them for people, make them for themselves, and they nail it and fine tune it, then when someone says, "Oh, here's my Manhattan," and it's not
I think this is kind of the ground rule, because you need to, this is my opinion, I feel like you need to nail the classics first and then jump off, into other areas and explore and be like creative about it. But if you can't nail the existence of the story and the cocktail, like
I think up to a certain point every classic should be the same. So if we're going bar to bar, ingredients different, permitting. It
should be recognisably a flavour. Like for example, this is my perfect example of this. This is my analogy of it. I don't say perfect example. It's not perfect example. If I go into an Italian restaurant, right? Yeah. So it's not just a general restaurant; it's an Italian restaurant. In the way that when people go into a cocktail bar, it's not an Irish pub. Yeah. You go into an Irish pub and you ask for Ramos Gin Fizz. You
could throw yourself out.
Yeah, get out. But if you go into like a high-end hotel cocktail bar and you get a decent pint of Guinness and you complain about it not being in a Guinness branded tulip, get out. You got Guinness in a cocktail bar, right?
Exactly.
On equal measure. If I go into an Italian restaurant and it's not Massimo Bottura's restaurant, where I already know that he doesn't make his ragu the way you normally make a ragu. His lasagna is the crispy bit of the lasagna, and it's like a reverse engineered lasagna. You know what?
I'm getting hungry now.
It still tastes like lasagna.
Yeah.
And his ragu tastes like ragu. If I go into an Italian restaurant and I ask for a ragu or a bolognese, and I get like white creamy stuff with bacon, and I'm like, this is you're going to get upset, but we seem to like let it slide in the bar industry sometimes.
But I think also that's a really good point, because also there's a lot of tweaking available to different chefs to tweak a lasagna but still keep it within the same ballpark that it's recognised.
And you recognise it as a lasagna.
Cocktails as well. You can have an old fashioned 100 different ways, but it's still an old fashioned.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start putting something that never belonged in the drink in the first place, then it's no longer an old-fashioned.
Yeah, well, I get it if it complements it, and it doesn't take away from it being an old fashioned.
Yeah.
Like for example, if no one ever said salt goes in an old fashioned, but an amount of salt that's not noticeable will complement the drink. But like, if it tastes like salt, you did it wrong. Right. So.
What are we doing?
What are we doing? Shall we try to make a fun drink? Like I'm seeing these.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you, what is for people watching at home and also for myself, like what is the idea behind Tropic Topic and where are you going with it?
So yeah, basically, like this also obviously starts off with the whole COVID thing, you know, lockdown, everything, and we kind of, as I already told you before, we wanted to keep busy, you know, being entertained and everything. And I mean, if people know us, they know the backgrounds and everything from where we're coming from. And it was just like, obviously our minds jumping off, like we had so many like inspirations and ideas and stuff. And we just basically wanted to build something like that's a tropical platform that we like introduce people to, like, you know, tropical cocktails. The bad thing was obviously bars then closed because our idea was like to have proper takeovers and everything, and this is obviously, you know, like backfired just a little bit. But yeah, like
been put on hold.
Yeah, exactly. It's
a long, slow winding road.
Very slow. But yeah, so basically to get the whole following and everything, we just like basically like started off our page on Instagram and Facebook and just introduce people to our creations, like, you know, like actual tropical cocktails, and sometimes as well on like things how we do, like talking about shaking, talking about like, yeah, just everything like involved around our industry pretty much. To
build on that, in the long run we wanted to end up as a bar, or if not multiple
exactly
bars.
Yeah,
and it's kind of building a fan base and a portfolio.
You guys opening a bar would be epic.
And also Tiki's going through a lot of changes at the moment. I'm not really necessarily
I think Tiki is like me personally, my looking from the outside, I'm going to say I'm not a huge fan of like cancel culture, right? Like I think people need to talk and debate things and also get the nuances of it before they go cancel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think there's a lot of like there's a lot of room for people, instead of using things that could be offensive to people, to move away from them by replacing them with things. So, for example, on the Tiki note, right, the most obvious thing is thing like I used to work at Camelot, right?
Yeah.
And having come from like Milk and Honey, my first step was to read every Tiki book I possibly could find. I've got originals of like Don Beachcomber books and stuff like that. I've got a signed Trader Vic book, and like even the cooking ones. You know, I bought them all, devoured them, and then came up with this like theory of that Tiki wasn't quite what people thought it was today. And it was, in my personal opinion, when Don the Beachcomber started, or Raymond Beaumont Kent, whatever his name was, started like doing the whole like experiential like escapism thing, and he was using the rums, but he was numbering them.
Yeah.
Rum had a real bad rep, but tasted great.
Yeah.
So like, if you gave some, it's like the whole thing like, I don't drink vodka. Like, can I have a gin? I'm allergic to vodka. It's like, you're not allergic to vodka. You're not allergic to... But if you were giving people aged spirit, you know, post-prohibition, because he was a rum runner, right?
Yeah.
Giving people quality spirit post-prohibition, but you're not telling these like, you know, well-to-do, I think I know everything type people that it's actually rum. They want whiskey and cognac, but they're drinking these tropical drinks and being like, these are delicious. And he was also the first guy to then invite all the well, it sounds horrible by today's standards, but invite all the secretaries and the ladies from the office into the place, and give them drinks, because he knew that like the people will follow.
People, okay, yeah.
We also have like the corrugated iron roof that they would sprinkle water on to make people think it was raining outside. So
yeah.
A lot of these things were kind of like thrifty but quite genius business strategies. But in the long run, where we're going with it now is just that if you have something in your bar that is offensive to a group of people,
Just why have it?
Why have it? I mean,
Yeah.
there are plenty of ways to represent the tropics without using carvings of other people's religious artifacts and gods.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And also, Geeky Tiki are doing exactly the right thing with this. I mean, because there's so many options in these guys. You can go down that route and have like, yeah, you've got Pickle Rick,
Right.
but you've got
Pickle Rick! Guess what I'm making this?
Yes.
Pickle Ricky!
Pickle Ricky.
Pickle
You
Ricky!
can see. So I mean, not even just that. Bananas and various fruits and palm trees and flamingos and all these birds. None of these things have any kind of intrinsic tie to the religious aspect.
Yeah.
So it's not offensive to anyone. You can use all of that. It's fine. No one says you can't. And people aren't really yet saying you can't own and have your own tiki mugs or have a bar full of tiki idols. But they're just asking that you be a little bit considerate of how other people might feel about
literally the gods and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
it makes perfect sense.
You don't
Like, you
get
don't
to-
see a Jesus one on a
Exactly, yeah,
cross.
you don't go into a
It's
bar
like-
and see a Jesus.
I
big
wonder
Jesus
what people
sculpture.
would do.
I wouldn't want to want
That's
that
one of the
anyway.
things. That's one of the things. Like, I thought like if I were a brand that was, say, I was a rum brand, right, and I sold a lot of my product in bars that were tiki bars, and I didn't want those bars like basically being shut down because people were offended. I'd be like, right, let's go to the home of where all these iconic things come from, and do a tour.
Right.
You know, and go and meet people that are touched by it and like
And actually
start that
support it,
conversation.
like having actually a
Exactly.
and support the
background.
move
Yeah,
forward
absolutely.
from A to B, because it has to be done correctly.
Yeah.
Like,
And actually, that's a really good point because a lot of the initial usage was just driftwood and stuff, and the tiki mods came later, and it was beachcomber for a reason, right? He went out and he picked up things
That's
off
it.
the beach,
He-
put them in
he-
his restaurant.
he got free stuff and cheap rum
Yeah.
and charged a fortune for it. Genius.
He
Like,
wa- yeah, he was.
Yeah.
A couple of parasols and some nice pufferfish things hanging from the bar.
Yeah.
And you've got yourself a vibrant environment which people
Yeah.
weren't used to. They never
Exactly.
experienced it before. They
And
couldn't
they're
just
like
hop on a
wowed
plane
by
and
it,
go
like,
to Bali
"Ooh,
Bali
This is amazing.
and experience it.
But
firsthand.
he even got like cut out of it all at the end,
Yeah.
and he had to he got exiled to Hawaii.
Yeah. Well, actually, when he went to Hawaii, he built a
Two-person restaurant?
bar,
Yeah.
which is the
I know.
coolest thing ever.
No, the coolest thing,
Can only come
right?
in twos.
Okay, I'm not trying to one up people. I think the two-person restaurant is is one of the most amazing things ever, right? Like, you guys should probably try to reopen it, right? Like, I mean,
£100.
topic, just be like, we've got a two-person, rooftop space. It'd be easy to do. It'd be super easy to do.
Yeah.
You know the Missionary's Downfall?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Love the Missionary's Downfall.
Is it great?
Not just because it tastes great, but also because, there was no mint in Hawaii.
Yeah.
You know that story,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So for the kids at home, there was before Don the Beachcomber got exiled to Hawaii, there was no mint in Hawaii, right? And so Hawaii was a protected space. You couldn't just bring mint in. So Don the Beachcomber brought some seeds, apparently, and put a mint plant sprig in his hat, and flew to Hawaii with the piece of mint just sat right there, and walked through security, and then gave it to a Japanese farmer, I think, if I remember correctly, and asked him. He said, "Grow this, and I will buy as much as you can produce from you." Right? Produce it, creating a business for this Japanese farmer, but he probably didn't realize it's like a weed, basically.
Yeah. It's going to go everywhere. And
But that's why I love that drink so much, because it's his drink. But obviously, it leads into the mint story. So there's the tropic topic. There's so much rich history.
There is, yeah. I mean, you only got to read even just one decent, tiki book, Jeff Berry.
Yeah.
Any
Beach
Jeff Berry
Bum Berry.
book, any Beach Bum Berry book, and you immediately go, "Oh my God, there's so much more to this than I realised."
Yeah.
It is.
And then you realise how many of these guys have been actively trying to dig it back up for the last 50 years, 30, 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
Since it almost disappeared. To try and provide us with the recipes to remake these amazing drinks.
So.
What are we doing? What are we
I
making?
just realised I'm missing something that I need.
What are you missing?
I know what I'll do. I'm going to run inside and get the thing I'm missing. Right? So
That's gonna be an-
to be able to do that, I'm going to press the Mitch's Minute button.
Yeah. You
Buys me a whole minute, right?
So, get out of jail free card.
It's
Just
like,
minute.
yeah. There we go. Just
Right. I don't understand why my audio sounds bad. Right, let's do Mitch's Minute, and we'll figure out the audio as well.
I see what you said. That would have been.
Damn, bro. I just got back. My dog did a shit on Sunset Boulevard. As the light changed, just decided straight up. It was just like, it's fucking time. I'm gonna drop a deuce. I got the long lead because my dog, and I'm not trying to like keep him like tied down. And I got a cigarette in one hand. You know, I got the lead I got a ciggy in the left because I'm left-handed. I got the lead in the right. And then he does the shit. And I'm like, oh, so I put the ciggy in. I'm trying to get like the shit bag. And then I'm trying to pick it up. And then the lights change and the cars coming in different directions. And they're all whizzing. I'm trying to like not get them run over, but pick up the shit. And everyone's honking their horns. So it was fucking stressful as shit, man. Standout Canadian whiskey. Nothing really rings a bell, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Beer Face was pretty delicious. I know. Thanks for that bottle. Shout out.
Brilliant.
All right, we're back. I am trying to figure out how to get my audio to not sound terrible. Everyone's telling me it sounds terrible. So what I'll do is I'll do this. Right, guys. So tell us what these are, right?
Yeah, so.
And where you're heading with them.
So basically, the whole idea behind this was like, we obviously do a lot of like handmade things at home, but we've kind of like tried to basically create something like really nice for the cabin. So
I don't know what is going on with this, but yeah, I think the audio is just like being really, really, really weird. I've never seen this before. It's never really done this. It's not. It's being mean, you know. So guys, like, can you just talk? Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
So Fascinola, sort of our take on it really, because as far as I can tell anyway, there doesn't seem to be an exact recipe left alive for a Fascinola. Classically, most popular drink to serve with a Fascinola is a hurricane cocktail, so classic tiki
No.
literature there.
Okay.
But essentially ours is supposed to just taste like a tropical syrup as far as I've read, and ours is strawberries, passion fruit, and orange blossom water. We're picking up this, or am I wasting it?
I'm not. I'm now not able to hear you, which is just weird. And I can't explain it. But they said they could hear you before. Right, can you speak again?
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, our Fascinola, we've got like bang drink ready for you whenever you're ready to mix to showcase. So yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try something new. Okay. Just hold on.
Go on. Very delicious.
Should we go on to the next one? So the
Yeah,
next
go
one in
on.
the middle here, the creamy coloured one, is I don't know, we call it butterscotch orgeat,
This
but
one.
it's essentially our own homemade orgeat recipe. This time sort of spiked, I guess, with some butter essence.
Yeah, it is spiked.
Spiked with butter essence to give it kind of a creamy.
It is
mouthfeel.
orgetti.
So it's just one notch above a regular.
When you
orgeat
say
mouthfeel.
spiked,
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't
not
have alcohol in it, but it's like it's going off the rails a little bit. It's like not the orgeat as like everybody knows orgeat. So yeah, it's taking another turn.
Yeah.
okay.
And then the last one there is in big quotation air quotes for learning.
Because it isn't a Falernum, but it is a Falernum.
It's not. If we have Richard Steele in the cabin, he would tell us all that is not a true Barbadian Falernum, and I would actually fully agree with him. Which is why I'm kind of hesitant about calling it a Falernum, but I suppose its closest relative is a Falernum.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a Caribbean spiced liqueur.
Because we've got the rum, we've got the spices, we've got the like initial ingredients that you do build for. Yeah, there's a few extra, as I say. It's a little tweak, but at the end of the day, I think it's still a Falernum. So yeah.
Yeah. Again,
and also, do you remember last time Rogerio was on, you told us he didn't have a Falernum, and I was kind of like shocked by it, and I was like, I really need to bring Dean his own Falernum, because like he cannot have this amazing cabin and not having his own Falernum. So there we go, you've got a homemade one now with a little teeny tiny tweak on it.
All right. I think I might have got the audio levels working again.
Oh, hey, that's good. That's good news.
So if you can say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Oh, don't do that to me. I'm not even bloody English.
I can say it.
Yeah, of course you can.
All right.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Right.
Should I say something in Swiss?
I think I'm hoping that this will have helped with the helped with the audio levels, but look, there's just no winning.
Yeah, no, there's no. Let's make some drinks.
It was working. It was working for a bit there. Right. So what I'm going to do?
First one up.
Oh, I see. Yeah. So should I taste that and make something off the cuff?
You can.
I was going to make you fino coladas, little baby ones.
Oh yes, please.
Do you want to have one of those?
Yeah.
Like, I really want one.
Yes.
I planned. So my original plan was to have you guys arrive to fino coladas, you know, and then we do strawberry frozes.
And then what happened?
I was cleaning up. I ran late.
Have you Miami Vice the fino colada and the
yeah.
Of course you
But
did.
I did. Oh, dude, it's epic.
It sounds epic.
It's epic.
Yeah.
It's beyond epic, actually. Like, because it's just like the most. Do you want to try? Shall we do it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we do it?
Absolutely. Go for it. Go for it.
This is gonna be the dangerous of sound. Should we have a little sip of something while we
Yeah, I think we should do that.
while we are working away on
I
this?
think we should do that. Let's just go, because also today, basically the cognac show has officially launched. I think.
Okay.
I mean, don't hang me up on this, because I don't actually know that time that it started off, but I'm pretty sure Dawn was getting ready for tonight.
I got all the emails.
Exactly. So cognac show. So yeah, let me just slide this in. Can you actually see it? I don't think you can see it. There we go. Da-da-da-da.
Oh, here, look, if we do this, we get rid of me,
just put it.
right? We can boom, 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 boom it. Ready?
So this is,
So people can kind of see what I'm doing.
Sélection des anges, angel share.
Wrong spot, Dino. This way. There you go.
It's just floating back and forth. I love it.
Oh, look
So
at
this
that.
is
Like an
basically
angel.
like an angel. You're just flying in like an angel.
Hot right now.
This is like the mountaintop. Like this is the exo equivalent of like our cognac.
This is like the peaks of Switzerland.
Well,
High
no,
and
I wouldn't
clean
say
and
Switzerland, because
delicious.
if I would say that, Alexander would probably get a little bit upset. Hey, Alexander. No, like this is, so basically, I think this is personally one of my favorites as well, and it's also Alexander Gabriel's favorite. So we basically have a cognac here, a Grand Champagne cognac that is aged between 28 years to 35 years. It's just, I mean, there's so many things I could describe it with, but it's like, I would say very easily, simply put, it's the gift that keeps on giving. So if you have a taster of it, it's just like,
So can we have a time taste?
Yes,
Is that all right?
please go for it.
That's
Go
all
for
right.
it.
So I think I'm such a slow bartender these days. I'm gonna take quite a while to get these.
But I
this
mean,
drink
like, I
prepped.
think this is pretty much the perfect sipping thing to, call in Cognac Show, right?
Hell
Yeah.
That's a good way to start.
Yeah. Salute,
Oh,
Don.
actually, I'll give it to you. It's your cognac. You can
I mean,
you can be in
it's
charge
not
of the
mine,
story,
but
right? And I will go back to building a Fino Colada,
yes.
right? So step 1, I think it's like 20 grams of Coco Lopez.
There we go. Oh, can you use? Oh, just the smell of it. I mean, it's just amazing. There we go. Let's put it over there. Dean, in your glass. We salute the Cognac Show.
Yeah.
Good luck,
All right,
guys.
I'll bring back one.
Everyone virtual.
Yeah.
Or whatever is going on.
Cheers, everyone at the Cognac Show.
Yeah. Cheers.
Good luck.
Thanks for having us.
Sunshine.
Cheers, man.
Sunshine. Mm.
Ooh.
No, like honestly, like, and the thing is, like, the most amazing bit about it is, like, you still can taste like the fresh grapes, and that's the most amazing part about it. Like,
Yeah.
I really prefer that.
It's not been like killed by the
No,
barrel
no, it's
itself.
not.
It's still alive, very much alive and laughing.
Mm-hmm. A combination of wet and dry cellars. It's just like,
That is amazing.
and as I
That
say,
is
like,
so
you have a
nice.
sip and it's like, oh, and it's just it goes on.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a harmony. I love it.
For me, also,
So
kind of
good.
does the opposite to a lot of cognacs, which for me start out dry and finish sweet.
Yeah.
And this one's that
Yeah.
nice, rich, sweet, full.
Yep,
mouth
it's
to
got
it,
that
and then
nice-
Really just
And it
dries
like
out
goes,
for ages.
yeah, it
Dry
goes around,
finish, yeah.
No, it's amazing. Yeah, our baby.
All right.
So
There's
what
a
are you
little extra
doing?
Fino in here.
Talk us through your Fina Colada.
So it's Fino instead of the rum. and then a little pinch of salt, a couple of dashes of Angostura bitters,
Amazing.
130 grams of fresh, juicy, ripe pineapple.
Oh.
This is going to come up too frozen, right?
Yeah.
Because I've frozen the pineapple. A couple of squeezes of lime to taste. So obviously, if you've got a really fresh pineapple and it's hard to tell, and you know yourself, and it's not like juicy and aromatic and
Yeah.
delicious, and you can get a lot of that bromelian kind of enzyme-y bit
Yeah.
burn, or like
It
it's
is,
like
it is a
it
bit.
almost makes
It's a
it kind of
tingle
more
and a burn.
sour.
Yeah.
It's a particular burn. Then be sparing with the lime and go a little bit more with the coconut and the sweetness, and don't put quite as much ice, so you're not watering it down as much. But then if you get like an over sweet, like too sweet, you don't want this drink to. I don't think a pina colada should be sweet.
No.
I think
No.
it should be like a nice balanced drink.
It should be. Like it's you have a bit of everything really.
So if it's a bit too on the sweet side, then more lime. So lime is just to taste, as I say.
I can't wait for this. I'm excited.
Because
Yeah,
lime's a hard one.
I'm
to
actually
think about.
nervous making you guys a
Don't
pina
be
colada.
nervous. I'm
So-
really excited.
So this started, like, we were talking about Canaloa before, and you guys were like, I don't remember you working at Canaloa. Like, yeah. I was there for a short time, and they had, like, one of the drinks on the menu was like a twist on an Adonis.
Yeah.
And it had this in it. So that would happen. We'd make one drink, and there were like
Open
7
bottles of
Gone.
open bottles in the stations, and like, I love this stuff.
Oh,
So I was watching it just like die, and I was like,
Ah.
I negotiated to have a pina colada as my knockoff in my contract, so that they couldn't tell me I couldn't have a knockoff because it was a Novus Leisure site, which meant everyone could have a knockoff. Worked out quite well. Because when you hear this, when you're not allowed to have a knockoff, and one of the arrogant douchebag bartenders starts doing this. Doesn't take long before everyone's having a knockoff. It drew everyone together a little bit, I think. Right, so it didn't take them any time at all to change that Novus Leisure rule. Don't tell Novus Leisure, obviously.
These strawberries
I
are
think
delicious, by the way.
knockoff drinks as well has been one of those things. Like, I remember bartending at a trailer before and working with Joe Woods on the
Yep.
third station.
Oh,
So
Joe.
Joe Woods had been finished already for about 20 minutes and was just building Negronis by eye with no pourers, no speed pourers, no
In the
jiggers,
biggest
nothing.
glass he
In
could
the
ever
darkest
find.
corner of trailer in a wine cooler. Just going, who wants a Negroni? It's
Yeah.
like, okay,
And very
cool, where's the
gently
Negroni?
stirring
So,
Joe
it.
Wood is the best.
I love Joe Wood.
Like
yeah.
he has such a calmness about him. He's just
so,
literally like
he used
the
to,
presence of him standing there and be like, I am just
He used to
stirring
stand
you
at the well,
Negroni.
like stand at his station.
I know. Oh
They
my
go-
god. We miss you, Joe.
Yeah.
We miss you.
Joe Wood is the best. You know, he's consulting on a place in Crystal Palace, just around the corner.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
And his
yeah,
girlfriend has a place like a couple of blocks from here.
Oh man,
Oh.
he's a neighbour.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
legend.
Oh, definitely.
Right, so
Absolutely.
I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to
Just-
properly measure this.
yeah.
'cause
We're
I
Go
have
in.
no idea what I'm doing.
Are you woodsing it?
Yeah.
I love that.
You know,
this is a thing now.
I went to, I worked at Canaloa because of Joe Wood. I went to Mahiki and I watched him bartend and I was just like, wow, this guy's epic.
He's just so, it's almost horizontal.
Oh.
He's so laid back. You know?
So
It is kind of
that
like.
will work in the.
I'm going to, shall I throw it in
Do you
there?
know what the equivalent is? It's like kind of watching bartender yoga.
I just realised that
So it's kind of like cordial sweetness.
he
as
is
well.
bartender Yoda.
Right? Yeah, it's like.
He's the bomb.
Actually, that's a great analogy. When you see the, I can't remember which film it is. It's the second of, I think it's either episode 2 or episode 3, when Yoda starts just randomly flipping around. Like, he barely moved for the entire saga, and then all of a sudden he's doing backflips over people and like
Yeah.
beating people up with the lights. It's just like, that's
Wow,
what
Yoda
Joe
can
Woods looks like when
move.
it actually gets
Yeah.
busy.
True.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, whoa, this guy does.
He
actually-
moves.
He moves.
Yeah.
when
He does, he
Oh,
can.
whoa. But there's so many like
Oh,
bartenders
so
are just like
Oh, look at him.
so chill.
They don't have a
Second
second
way.
gear.
Yeah.
You need to work in nightclubs though.
Well,
Nightclubs have. What happened to nightclubs?
He did.
Where are all the nightclub bars?
Yeah, I was
They're
in a
gone.
nightclub in Basel. Yeah.
Take on.
Yeah,
in bars.
if you're a bartender and you're just starting out and you want to get really really good, go work in a nightclub for a while. Like
It's awful,
you just
but you have
just
to. You
hammers
just
home
have to do
the
it.
the speed and accuracy.
Definitely
Now-
for like simple round building. How quickly can you build 4
Yeah.
mojitos and 10 rum and cokes?
Now all that time
Pretty
spent.
much.
So sounds good now. So I said sorry to people. No worries. Things happen when we're streaming. Yeah, thank you, Jonas. Thank you.
Sorry, guys.
But we're about to go ugly on the audio. So like when I'll put the blenders on,
Just close your ears.
and then we'll
now.
just sip our cognac and like take a minute.
Love a Nutribullet though. It's a great Nutribullet. Isn't it great? Isn't it just fantastic?
I put way too much ice in this one. I knew I was going to do it. But you guys don't mind
More sherries and
Yeah.
mixed
Morfino.
rum.
Morfino!
Just go in with it.
So at my wedding, we had 18 bottles of Tio Pepe and Rama,
Oh, amazing.
right? And like, I think there was about 30 or 40 bottles of normal Tio Pepe. And we saved them till Sunday and had a pool party with Fino Coladas. It was
I
epic.
love
You're
this.
talking
I
now.
love this. Yeah, we need to find some,
That's actually.
our own thing.
Remember some of the bartending crew in Basel decided it would be an amazing idea to just set up a table down by the Rhine on a sunny
Oh,
summer
yeah.
afternoon. Invite a bunch of bartenders down who bring their own gin, and we just made a martini evening.
Yeah.
Sitting by
That
the
was
Rhine,
amazing.
everyone brings their own gin, so a big bag of ice. Forgot about lemon.
God, it was a bad idea to try to use this thing.
Everyone
I
is
hate
like, what is going on?
It's going to be way too watery. But what can we do?
A little bit. But
Right.
alright. We wing it.
So obviously we're winging everything. So let's see how this works out.
We are actually professionals, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, just let
But
you
this
know.
is a home bar.
Professional improvising.
You're supposed to have fun.
Exactly. We know what we're doing.
A nice example of the small world that we live
Oh,
in.
look at those
is that
glasses. They're lovely.
We're joined this evening by Joe Wodzak, and Joe Wodzak's friend Hamish has been working with me in the local supermarket I work in Suffolk at the minute whilst we're trying to tie.
Oh, wow.
Before we come back. I was literally having a chat with someone at the back who was like, "Oh, I was a wine importer until about 6 months ago," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. Well, we were kind of similar trade," and then start talking. Who do you know? Wodzak.
This
Yes.
guy.
'Cause who doesn't know
He's a legend.
Yeah.
He's such a fun guy. He's been here a few times, actually.
Yeah, I was in Cognac with him.
Yeah.
Is,
I know.
I tell you what, that was a hell.
What's really funny, he's
Hell of
actually
a
already
thing.
been and I haven't been.
To what? To Cognac?
You're never
No.
gonna let that one.
No, I'm not.
Well, as soon as it reopens, let's go.
Well,
I've been to
obviously,
Cognac. I love Cognac.
But yeah, it's really funny. Because, you know, like, we obviously, like, but in both of our careers...
So normally, just
Yeah.
I would, the strawberry part would have like quite a bit more.
Yeah, I can see it. It's a bit, you know, it's
to
good.
it.
It's great, I love
But
it.
you basically do this, and let's cut to that one. And you drag these out, right? I've gone the wrong way on this one, but that guy, you force him to be fatter, right? And then you force this guy to like go in that way,
And make it look pretty.
and then you make it look like a yin and yang.
Oh, yeah.
So I used to call the pina colada version of this, in like 2002, 2003, I used to call it a strawberry daculada, because I worked on a tropical
quite a
island like
mouthful,
Hamilton
isn't it?
Island in the Whitsundays in the Great Barrier Reef. And I'm like by the ocean, there's whales and stuff in the water and all this beautiful stuff. And people were always ordering Long Island iced tea, strawberry daiquiri, pina colada, Long Island iced tea, strawberry daiquiri.
Just to show. Yeah.
So I got to a point where I was like, oh my God, like I had like 4 blender cups. The blenders were basically always going. And then obviously you've got like half empty blender cups with like bits at the bottom. And I just started mixing this together, and then it became the strawberry daculada, right? And there must have been 20,000 people or 20,000 photos taken of that with 2 little baby straws. We're not going to put straws in it today because, 2021.
Yep.
And normally that I would have nailed the consistency of the strawberry
To be fair,
daiquiri.
it doesn't look that bad.
But
Guys, it looks
it's a
good.
frosé.
It looks
It's a frosé, so it's not like it's tons of
Yeah.
rosé in it. But you get this, and then they were in much bigger cubes, and you put a straw in either one, and then you give it to people, and it's a couple's drink, and they would be like, "Oh my God, look at this! Oh my God, I'm so excited!" But they had the waterproof paper click.
Oh, yeah.
There was
Oh,
no
fabulous.
Instagram in 2003.
No, there wasn't.
Yeah,
So,
but
like,
I already feel lucky.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like there were a lot
Good
of
times, good times.
a lot of these
Oh,
made.
look at this. It looks
And this
good,
is
though.
this is obviously the low ABV variation, where instead of a pina colada, it's a
that.
fino colada.
So
And instead of a
he's
strawberry
actually
daiquiri,
going to take a
it's
picture
a
now.
frosé.
Oh my God, Instagram.
It looks good.
Right?
Look at
Probably
it.
just
So
stepped out
Oh,
of the,
fabulous.
cheers. I hope it tastes
Cheers.
okay.
I hope so for you
I don't
too.
think I put quite enough sugar in it, but
We'll
let's
see in a
see.
minute. I love the glasses though. They're great.
Oh, it's incredible.
Oh, this is so good.
You know one of my favourite old school sweets as well is these little rhubarb and custards.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
what it's like.
Custard
It
in the
is, right?
glass.
It's
It
like
is.
perfect.
Just with
Yep.
strawberries and pineapple.
Oh yeah.
It's not bad, huh?
It's delicious. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Drink, like, yeah.
It's
low-
so good.
Oh God, what have I done? Yeah, it's pretty good. I'm getting distracted. Mm.
No,
Right.
this is guys. I wish you could try this because it's amazing.
You
I'm
can.
sorry. I'm
You
sorry.
can make these at home.
You can just
Okay.
follow follow the link.
So, what's your plans? Like, what's the plan for the future? What have you got coming up?
I mean, obviously, like in general, we're really, really happy that things slowly opening and everything. And who would believe we're actually moving down to London in 8 days?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
So, where are you right now? You're
We're in
out in the
Suffolk,
countryside.
in Newmarket.
How far is Suffolk? Is it like more than 10 minutes?
About an hour and a half on the train
Yeah,
for us to come.
Yeah.
I came down today this morning. It took about an hour and a half.
yeah.
So
Okay.
it's just 20 minutes away from Cambridge, so it's not really that far.
It's not that far, but the way the
It
trains
just-
work and
Yeah,
everything.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because you have to like change in Cambridge, and like most of the time we actually miss the train.
yeah,
'cause you have,
it's
like-
not
You have like
prioritised.
One
1 minute.
doesn't-
You have like 1 minute
Yeah.
to change gate. It's
I-
like
that-
who
that's
does
one of the
that? Who
things
does
that I
that
don't
sort of stuff?
understand, like-
No.
If you,
Doesn't make
I
any
think
sense.
I think there should be a set rule where you go to the furthest point. Let's say you get the station manager of any train station, airport,
I like that. The
to
station
go
manager.
to the furthest point
Mm.
from A to
And
B,
actually
right?
calculate
So
it
if
from
you go
there,
to a
right?
hotel
Yeah.
to an airport, and you go to the worst possible canteen corner shit spot you could possibly be,
Yeah.
and you walk with one wheelie bag on the back and a small child.
Oh
right?
yeah, like,
Right?
that would be perfect.
And the small child
I
has to be
get you.
walking
Yeah.
or carried in the
absolutely.
other arm.
Or a
and-
small person.
And they have to go from the worst spot in the airport and or train station, and they have to go to the furthest gate
Because
from
it's
that
hard,
spot.
man. It's hard.
And do it, and that's the time. There can't be a flight that or a train that unloads,
Yeah, in between.
and then
Yeah,
another
yeah.
one that closes
Yeah,
within
absolutely.
that time of each other. Then you can't have a problem, right?
Yeah, that's
Like,
No,
and
it's
you just say to
ridiculous.
people,
101,
it
right?
takes
It's literally-
15 minutes
it
to
is
get there.
undoable.
And you get with it. I'm talking planes because obviously I was a gold brand of us before, so I did a lot of running from one plane to the next. But they know, and they're like, you've got to move.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
Amsterdam airport. Like, if you're trying to do that, like, get from one side of Amsterdam airport to the other,
Yes,
no
massive.
chance, man. No
Schiphol.
chance. You'll be running for half
Bit
an
more?
hour. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's still
I
only
haven't
like
drunk
a
that
third
much
of a
now,
drink,
so-
really.
slowly, BB. Drink as much as you want.
No, I said it doesn't fit in the glass.
Responsibly, of course.
Always responsibly.
Responsible. We're very responsible.
We are. We are.
Right. So your plans? What you got coming up?
So, yeah, no, as I said, we're going to move down because that took us like, what, a year and 2 months, probably. So we're obviously really excited about that. And with that, us having our own space, you know, we can kind of pick up on the tropic topic again. Then Joe has his new old job again.
Yeah,
It was pretty
Okay, wow.
amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's the first time I've announced that to anybody, and I did it live on your show. So yeah, we'll be back at Trailer. Come and see me in about a week.
Back at Trailer.
Back at Trailer. Yeah.
Rock and roll.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And yeah, the guys there. And
Well, I want to bring my like camera and do a like a little advertorial for
Oh,
Trailer.
yes, please.
In the highest possible quality I'm able to do of the outside area because you got seats outside
nice,
now.
nice benches outside now, so people can sit outside, and hopefully is going to be a decent British summer this year.
Well,
It looks pretty good so
fingers
far.
crossed.
Because we're really kind of clinging to that at the moment. And then I think June, I don't know the exact date, so I'm not going to say anything too officious, but I think sometime in June we'll be able to take guests fully down inside and have a
Yeah,
full
nice.
experience again. So it's not too far away. as
I'll
long
come
as
hang out outside.
faith and
Yeah,
stuff.
please.
I'll order some whatever these are called.
Yeah.
Is there a Trailer Happiness cocktail?
Is there?
We'll just call it Trailer Happiness cocktail and just put pressure on
should,
you
we
guys.
should.
The Trailer
That's
Happiness cocktail.
We just have to make a new one every time until you come down and we go, that is the one. That is the
I
one.
wanted
that
to call
represents
it
Trailer."
Hawaii 5-0 because it's like Miami Vice, right? But not as popular.
Yeah.
We need to find
No, and
another
I-
like.
Hawaiian Mist. Which
Oh,
is on our
Death in
menu a while
Paradise.
ago. Yeah.
What's that?
Death in
It's like a
Paradise is-
British
I
show
did,
that's set
It is,
in.
isn't it?
Which is a champagne and absinthe cocktail, right? Death in Paradise. Or is
Oh,
that?
there's already one.
I think there was, yeah.
I also did a twist on that, which was like half that, half tea punch. So it
Oh.
was agricole, grenadine, champagne, lime, and absinthe. And we call that tea and death in Martinique.
Nice.
And
Pretty. That
That's
was
sort of
pretty
hot
good.
cakes,
Yeah.
even in Basel where people didn't even know what agricole was.
They're
Oh.
A lot
just
of my
drinking
customers
it.
were
They're
going,
just
"What
like,
the hell's that?"
I'm going for it.
It
Yeah.
tastes good. Right. So
And
one last
obviously,
thing.
I kind of moved on completely different sides because I'm not behind the bar anymore.
Yeah.
So I've kind of moved behind the scenes. And it's really funny because I've never like imagined myself being in this position, but with lockdown happening and everything, and knowing, you know, all these brands and like my knowledge and my background, I've actually kind of moved as a like social media and digital like person. So I'm doing everything behind the scenes, but not being behind the scenes because obviously I'm still out and, you know, meeting people.
But,
and
so you're
everything,
doing all
but
the digital and social for which brands?
for identity drinks brands.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, this is it.
So I need to get on to making more and more of the like.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
more
obviously.
cocktails.
Brewer.
Yeah, we've
There's-
like I mean
there's a
we've
few
got
products
we've
here.
got an amazing portfolio. Like I'm not just saying that because I'm working for them, but it's like I've kind of always like
You've always been part of it.
when I've always
Yeah.
that's the thing. I've always been part of it. I've always knew the family and everything behind it. So for me actually being there now, it's like, oh, this is fun. Yeah, like as I say, like obviously our like biggest like little thing is like Maison Ferrand, having the cognacs, having the rum, having the gin, and then
Speaking of that,
yeah, there's
What's this one?
I've got something like special launching next month, so not long. What are we talking? 8 days. This is the new Citadel gin. Where do I?
do you want me to do a quick?
It's actually kind of like just put it in the middle. So this is Chardin. Chardin is going to be our new launch of gin. We have by the 1st of May. This is pretty amazing because it's like kind of like everybody that knows Alexander, like and Debbie, like they're just like this amazing super couple together. And like Debbie had for like quite some time, she had her like own garden in like back in Chateau de Bourbonnais. And I think Alexander just kind of got like, you know, the idea of it and like the inspiration of her like summer garden. And this is pretty much being put everything into one bottle. So this is summer in a bottle. You know, like
So what's in it?
like we're talking yuzu, we're talking fresh French lemon, we're talking orange peel, we're talking lemon, like you know, like all
Everything's in
these
French?
amazing flavors.
Is this a French bottle that hasn't yet come?
Yes, like this is literally the only bottle in the UK right now, and it's at Dean Callan's cabin, and there it's
We
gone.
saved you enough for a gin and tonic.
Yeah, no, it's super exciting.
Do you want to do a tasting of it?
Yeah, go for it. Absolutely. Open that bad boy. I mean, like it's been open, but just because I had to come up with some cocktails. But yeah, as I say, it's literally summer in a bottle. It's amazing.
Bottle's sexy as well.
I know. Like we've got a new design for that. So
Yeah, 'cause that's
it's
the
really nice.
old
that's
shape,
the
right?
really that's
Really
the
old shape.
really old bottle. We've moved on from this. No, it's super exciting, and as I say, like you know, summer is in front of our doors, and we can't wait. So it's happening. It's happening, guys.
Right. So do you know what the botanical makeup of it? It says 41.5% ABV.
Yes, and it's 22 botanicals in full. And as I say, so basically main parts are we talked melon, lemon. I was really funny saying lemon and melon at the same time. And then
So it
orange.
has melon in it.
Yes, it does. And then yuzu. And obviously, like as we always are, like juniper is a really, really important part to us. Like our gins always be like, you know, like juniper heavy, like because it's the star of the show. Like why would you take it away? So there we go.
The top's so cool.
I know, it's nice, isn't it?
How is that done?
I just love it. What do you think?
The nose is like,
So
he's
just-
nailed the nose. It's like a fine perfume.
Just imagine yourself being back in Bordeaux, like literally walking across the fields, saying hello to Debbie and her amazing, beautiful summer garden. You know, like it's just it literally takes you there. It literally takes you to France.
I think also there's so many gin brands in the last few years who have based themselves around the idea of like a quintessentially English summer garden, you know, roses and cucumber and things like this. And now this is just a different country's take on the same.
This is,
just look
is
what's
pretty
possible
good.
to grow in France in the summer. Hey, we got
Yeah,
pictures
look
and
what we can grow.
Yeah, like that's
Yeah, I've had users for a few years, and the trees
Yeah.
produce nay fruit.
Yeah,
Like-
I've got actually a cherry moya growing at home. It's only about this big at the moment, but when it gets to full size,
It's growing.
and then we get a couple of
I'm blaming myself.
But
I'm blaming
yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
I think I'm not feeding it properly. Like you'll see, it was like super green and lush a couple of weeks ago, and now it's kind of like looking yellowy. Like, have I not given it enough water? Anyway,
But yeah, it's becoming more and more like literally farm to bottle.
This is great.
And that's like what's really important to us. And I think we absolutely nailing it. So
When does it get launched?
1st of May.
1st of May. Okay, great. So I don't have to wait too long.
No, you don't have to wait too long.
Yeah, because I was thinking like I'd be making like 2 things that straight away popped to mind.
Well, go on.
The first was just a dry martini, like 3 to 1, but with a lemon twist and like a tiny little like dash of actual yuzu to like bring out the yuzu a bit more. But I don't know if I'd even need the yuzu because the other side of me is thinking that the melon taste is it should be leaned into.
It's warm, but like it's just no.
And I thought it would be really nice in a London Calling.
Absolutely.
Which doesn't work to the marketing because it's not like London Dry or London Style, but like that in a London Calling because you just think Fino Sherry and lemon with a little bit of orange and then grapefruit.
Maybe swap out the Fino Sherry for a bit of aperitif wine that they make in Bordeaux and cognac.
What do you mean? No, I don't know. No, No. Which
dessert
wine?
wine.
Oh, Pinot de Charon.
Pinot de Charon.
I was like,
Pinot
what are
de
you talking
Charon.
about?
Okay.
Thank you.
That'd be
Little
epic.
sub in there.
Oh my
You're
God.
so
It's
good.
like a French.
Can we
like
do a
Bordeaux
follow-up?
calling?
Yeah.
Can we do
Please,
Bordeaux
please,
Calling? Can we do a
let's
follow up? When this comes out? Can you? We'll basically
Absolutely.
do exactly the same thing and all just hang out and drink. But it'll be Joe Farr on the Dean Callan show, and like you can just sit there and
round.
Yeah, that's
swap
what we
spots,
do. Oh,
and
I completely
we'll
forgot to
do that. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Oh,
of course.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring some Pinot de Charon because, I mean,
Oh, it's delicious.
I don't want to be biased, but it's just, oh my God, I love it.
I've tasted the Pinot de Charon.
I love it so much. So it doesn't, for me.
It didn't last very long.
It doesn't.
does.
Oh
That's
my
the
God.
thing. It really doesn't. And for me, it's
Yeah,
like,
if you haven't tried
normally, I really need to be in the mood for, like some certain cocktails or whatever. But Pinot de Charon, I can literally drink all year long because it's just...
It's
And
so
it changes, it evolves over the seasons.
I know.
It's
Before
just so amazing.
Before I forget, I have something I need to show you,
Oh,
but it
yes,
has to be
please.
off camera because it's an NDA thing. So like it's a non-disclosure. So I can't. It'd be stupid to put it on the camera. Do you know I wanted to do an event called NDA, right? And like get all the people. So you guys obviously do consulting and stuff like that, right? But imagine if you could fill a room with people, right? They don't have to pay for any drinks. They just turn up. They're all bartenders and stuff, and they sit there. You can't tell them what's in the drinks.
Okay.
You just
Right.
give them the drinks and say, "Do these taste nice? Would you order this in real life?" Right? And you take all the like non-disclosure agreement, like we're working on this, like that before it was ready for release.
Yeah.
Right? We're gonna make some Bordeaux callings with it. Right? And we're gonna do what is it? It's like a linear integration of like using our product plus our product plus our product plus lemon juice, right? But you could have like a room full of people that would come and just be guinea pigs for a night,
Oh,
like,
Oh,
like
yeah, absolutely.
and then send them out
Yeah.
a spirit and be like, I can't tell you what this is, but
I'm a
go
pretty good
for it.
guinea pig.
we think it's
I
good, right? I'd turn up to the NDA thing. I was trying to sell that pitch that as a concept. Like, can I take some of the stuff we're working on
Can I just
that I'm
be
not
like-
allowed to give to anyone and just give it to people, but not tell them what it is, and then we'll call the event NDA, and the feedback will be real. Maybe we'll do a different episode of Dean Callan Show. It's like everything's.
We should. I think we
Oh,
should.
we'll just call it redacted.
With a Q.
Yeah, it'd be
As in
so good.
redactories.
All right, so guys,
Amazing.
thank you for coming on to the show.
Thank you so
pleasure.
much
Um,
for having us.
I
having me.
know we had all sorts of audio issues. In fact, I literally just bypassed a quite expensive piece of audio kit that was meant to fix that.
Whoopsies.
But if the audio sounds great, then great. Or at least I'm terrified of watching the show now because everyone was like, your audio sounds tinny.
Oh.
Yeah.
Metally.
But
What's the word
let's
as well?
just hang out for another little bit, and you might get to meet Axel because he's on his way. So thank you everybody for tuning in. If anyone is tuned in, I don't know if anyone is, but if you are, thank you so much for
Yes.
tuning in.
Yeah.
you know, we're not all about everyone else tuning in necessarily, as you might have noticed. We're just having a good time hanging out, and to
It's
be
been
continued,
amazing.
right?
Definitely to be
Oh,
continued.
absolutely.
Let's continue this.
Yeah, we need
Really
to do this very soon.
I'm really looking forward to playing with these, and when you come back after the 1st of May, I'll have had a little Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy,
Yes.
and
It's gonna be fun.
and see what I've come up with.
It's gonna be
Yeah?
fun.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks guys for coming on the show, and yeah, see you next
Very
time there's a
soon.
show,
Yeah.
whenever that is.